Well, hello folks, and welcome to the last unit for the Interpretive Exhibits course, unit number 12. And it's one of the more and most important ones for the exhibits course. It's the last unit on evaluation. For all the exhibits that we do, we try to build in evaluation into the contract if we're doing an RFP. Because we want to find out before the exhibits are finally built if they're indeed accomplishing their objectives. And I've attached a couple of articles for you. One is an evaluation package we did for the Corps of Engineers to be able to critique existing visitor centers and existing visitor center exhibits. This would be done essentially by a technique called auditing by an expert, where an expert or experts take the sheets in with them and critiques the exhibits and has a look at them as far as themes and objectives and design options. The other article is on an evaluation package we did for the Kirby Science Center in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And this is where we found negative learning. And the example that I use, and these are all in pre-test, we had money to bring in busloads of school kids, 5th and 6th graders, and we gave them a pre-test to see how much they knew about the various topics the exhibits we were testing that week illustrated. In the first week we were doing exhibits on magnetism. And so one of the exhibits, we had a muffin tin, it had like 12 different little holes in it, and different objects inside each of the little holes, and then glass over the top. And then the idea was to run a magnet over them, and if the item was magnetic, it would jiggle, and if it wasn't magnetic, it went. Well, the directions said to use the magnet from underneath the muffin tin to see if it worked. The kids didn't want to do that, they wanted to go on top. And when they went on top, the object we had that was a sample of iron wouldn't move because it was too far away from the magnet. So on the pre-test, we had about 90% of the people knew that iron was magnetic. They did the test, and on the post-test, it was about 54% that now believed that iron was magnetic because they did the test. The iron didn't move, so it must not be magnetic. And that's an example of negative learning, where your visitor comes into your center, it sees your exhibits with an existing level of knowledge, and then something in your exhibit, whether it's the graphics or the photograph or the text, confuses them or gives them another view of the world, and they leave then not knowing or not believing that what they originally believed was true, but now believing that what they've seen from your exhibit is true, even though what they've seen in your exhibit can be incorrect or wrong. It's very easy to have negative learning. It's also very easy to have no learning. About 30 or 40% of the exhibits we tested for our science museum had no effect on how the kids learned or what they remembered. In other words, what they knew coming in, they knew going out, and nothing happened. So all that money was spent, and essentially nothing happened. So that's why we spend time and money on evaluation. If you're going to spend money on exhibits, you want to be sure, since those exhibits are going to be around for a long time, that not only are they not producing negative learning, having people leave screwed up because they don't understand or now misbelieve some information, or not having anything happen at all, you want to spend money to have things actually happen. You want your objectives to be accomplished. And the only way you're going to figure that out is through some pre-test and post-test evaluation. So for this unit, what I want you to do, you don't have to do anything elaborate, but I want you to think about it. I want you to think about, for the exhibits that you might have been talking to us about or working on, just how are you going to do the evaluation to find out if that exhibit or the exhibits that you're working on are actually good and actually accomplish their objectives. What's your strategy? And it's the main part of the course, or main goal. For every exhibit project you undertake from now to the future, you should always be suspicious as to whether or not that exhibit is actually doing a good job in accomplishing its objectives. And for $1 that you spend on an exhibit, are you getting $5 in benefits from that exhibit? So that's how we'll kind of wrap up this course. You've had the 12 units, you've done a great job, And now this is a way for you to look at your exhibits and see if they're actually, and you're actually getting your money's worth out of them. So I hope you enjoy it, and thank you for taking part in the course. And we have a lot more courses for you to take too if you have an interest in. And if you have any questions at all, email me or Skype me, and I'll be happy to keep chatting with you. Talk to you later then. Bye-bye.